What's up, guys? How you guys doing today? My name is BJ Mighty and welcome back to my channel. And in this video, guys, I'm going to be talking to you about 7 powerful tips for Instagram jewelry business. And why am I qualified to talk about this, or why should you listen to me? Well, you should listen to me because I've been doing this for 7 years. So I'm giving you 7 tips and 7 years of my experience selling jewelry online. Also, I would like to urge you to watch this video till the end because there are a lot of little nuggets that I'll be talking about that I won't even remember by the end of this video. See, jewelry is a very saturated business and standing out can be very tough, especially if you are new. And it is so because jewelry is quite broad, There are all kinds of jewelry, all manners of jewelry. So it is going to be very tough if you are starting new without having more than just the regular knowledge of Instagram. So you need more than just the normal knowledge of jewelry or Instagram to succeed, in the jewelry business. So without wasting your time, let's get into it. But wait, before we get into it, guys, I would like you guys to subscribe to my channel, like this video, give me a thumbs up so that I know that you are enjoying what I'm doing and I know that you are getting a lot of value from this video as much as I hope that I'm giving to you. So you see, businesses are sinking under the bottom of Instagram ocean every blessed day. And you don't want your business to be one of those businesses. And that's the reason why I urge you once again to watch this video till the end. All right, now without wasting your time, let's jump into it. One of the biggest mistakes you can make in jewelry is to just pick any kind of jewelry and start selling it without actually, first of all, defining what kind of jewelry or what kind of niche you want to be known for. This is very important because there are all kinds of jewelry out there. I mean, I've seen jewelry made out of all manners of things. So you want to, first of all, niche down. That is the first tip that I'm going to give you. You want to niche down. And what do I mean by niche? What is niche? You see, niche is like a small segment of a large segment. So let's say like you have an apple right now, and then if you take a bite of that apple, that is like a niche of that apple. So you don't want to be selling all kinds of jewelry. You don't want to be jack of all trade. So you want to be known for something. So that's the reason why you want to, first of all, niche down. Take, for example, when I started my jewelry business, which was Mandelax, I knew in my head that the kind of jewelry that I want to sell is for MTV, BET kind of people. So what am I talking about? Hip-hop kind of jewelry is what I'm selling. And I knew in my head that the kind of people that I'm targeting are people who watch MTV and BET. So you have to ask yourself, who are the kind of people that you are trying to attract? Who are the kind of people that you are trying to sell to? So the easiest way to go about it is to try to sell to people like you. Like when I started my jewelry business, I was in the music industry. So I knew in my head that I was going to make a jewelry for people who live the hip-hop lifestyle, kind of, or who listen to hip-hop music. Those are the kind of people that I was trying to target. And those are the people that I targeted. So who are you targeting in your business? This is the first question you got to ask yourself. So anyway, that's all I can say about niche in this very short time, because we still have 6 more points to go. But if you want me to talk more about niche, please comment in the box below and then I will dive in deeper. So the second tip I have for you is this. Know your target audience so that you can clarify your message. So why should you identify your target audience, or why should you know your target audience? So the sole purpose of identifying who your target audience are is so that you are able to use the right tone and messaging to communicate with them in your marketing efforts, in your advertisement efforts, so that they understand exactly what they are going to get from doing business with you. The language that you used to speak to a single mom is different from the language that you used to speak to a student. The language that you used to speak to a student is different from the language that you use to speak to a bachelor, for example. So that is the reason why you want to really understand or laser target your audience so that you can be able to clarify your message. This is very important, or else you're going to be targeting nobody. So here are 3 easy ways that you can determine your audience. Number 1 is by demography. And when we talk about demography, we're talking about their gender, their age, their sex, their location, their marital status, all those kind of things that, those general idea of who they are. Now, the second one is their psychography. So when we talk about their psychography, we're talking about the things that you can see, which is the things that influence their behavior or their decision making. So when we talk about psychography, we're talking about what are their interests. What are their behavior? What are their principles? What are their values? What do they value in their life and things like that. Then the last one is the sociographic. So when we talk about sociographic, we're talking about what kind of group do they keep? What kind of what membership do they hold? These are the type of traits that you can use to identify them in a social gathering, that kind of thing. Those are the 3 tips that you can use to target your audience. Guys, remember that I'm just brushing the surface. I'm not really digging deep into this. So if there's any point that I'm talking about in this video that you want me to expatiate more on, please leave it in the comment below and I'll be more than happy to come back and, in fact, make a long video just talking about that. All right, let's get into the third tip now. All right, the top tip is jewelry, photography, and styling. See, your photo is very, very important because Instagram is a visual platform. So you have to know that people do not come on Instagram with the purpose of buying. People come on Instagram to socialize. But when they are scrolling and they find something that captures their attention, that is when the buying decision starts to come into the picture. So you want to make sure that you capture their attention with the picture that you use. So you don't want to use a picture that is not so attractive. You want to use a picture that is crystal clear, a very great pixel, good angle, great color, so that it captures their attention within a few seconds. And this is the reason why you have to put a lot of deep thought into it when you are snapping your photograph. And it's not just okay to just lay it down on the surface and just snap it. Think about putting it on someone. Think about how to fit it into your customer or your target audience lifestyle. Just how people will utilize it in the real life. So when people see something that they can relate with, it helps them to want to make that buying decision. So don't use your supplier's photo. Those are too generic, and people can actually tell that this is not a real life picture or this is not your picture. So try to take your own picture. Don't take the picture from AliExpress or from wherever you are sourcing from, Amazon, whatever. Don't use those pictures. Try to take your own pictures. Also, show various angles of the product. So imagine that people are actually buying from you in real life. What are the things that they'll be looking out for? So you want to snap those pictures so that people can see the details, So in snapping your photo, also think about the general aesthetic of your Instagram page. You don't want to be mumbo jumbing. I don't know if that's a good English word. You don't want to be mumbo jumbo, all kinds of color and just mismatching everything that doesn't go. So think about the general aesthetic of your Instagram page. It's very, very important that you have a cohesive, look all through. So number 4 tip I have for you is your bio, your Instagram bio. You must have a compelling bio. You must have a bio that communicates. Actually, I should have made this my second point, but my idea is that if you don't even have a picture that stops people on their track, how are they even supposed to check out your bio? So after your photos, the next most important element on your Instagram is your bio. So many people do not get their bio right. And that's where their problem of lack of sale come from. So in your bio, you want to talk about what you do, how you do it, and who you do it for. This is very, very important so that those people know that this thing that you're selling is for them. So that these people know that you are there for them. Also, you want to talk about what is unique about you. What makes you different from the rest of the guys? Why should people buy from you and not those guys? So still on your bio, and this is very, very important because a lot of people miss this. Call to action. Your CTA is very, very important. If you don't have a call to action that tells people exactly what you want them to do, people will not do it. So in your call to action, the last line in your bio, you should have a call to action like shop now, chat with me, something like that. And then you put your link there. Whatever link, maybe whether link to your website, link to your WhatsApp, link to your whatever action you want them to take. That call to action, it must be there. Without call to action, you will be losing a lot of sale. So that's the number 4 tip. So number 5 tip now is add your price. In the early days of Instagram, a lot of people don't want to add their price into their caption because, they are afraid that their competition is watching them and they are going to have an idea how much they are selling. See, who cares? Who cares these days? Nobody cares these days because, nobody have a monopoly of products these days. And that's the truth. And by the way, if you are too concerned about your competition and how they are spying at you and stuff, that's all you are going to be thinking about all day. And you won't make any progress. So guys, add your price because people's attention lifespan is very short. And people do not have time to be coming into your DM to be asking you how much. People do not have all those time. They don't have those because you're not the only one selling what you sell. So instead of going into your DM and they would rather go on Google and go and search it and buy it immediately. So put your price in your caption. Don't be afraid to do that. Put your price in your caption. Actually, for a long time, I used to make this mistake myself. I didn't used to add my price into my caption until later. And that changed a lot of things for me. It saved me a lot of time. All those time that I spent telling people the price and stuff. I don't spend those time anymore. You know, people already see the price. And once they come into my DM, they are just coming to make a purchase. That's tip number 5. So the 6th tip that I'm going to give you is this. There's a feature on Instagram called the story feature. A lot of people still don't know this. So Instagram story is somewhere that you should be spending a lot of time instead of just on your feed. And the reason why you want to do that is because more people actually use story than they use feed. Yeah, feed is there, it's permanent there. Story is not permanent because it expires after 24 hours. But you can actually archive it. So when you archive it, you can have it in your highlight or in your Instagram highlight. Use your story every day, even more than you use your feed. And that's what I do. And just like the name connotes, story is a place where you can actually tell your story. You can tell your brand story. So there are a lot of things that you can do in your feed because, you want to keep your aesthetic looking good and nice. Well, that's why you should go to your story. That's why story was created, so that you can post all those things that, you don't normally post into your feed. So it's in your story that you share, like, behind the scenes of your business, all those kind of things that people need to know. It's a platform for you to share the human side of your brand. And by the way, there are a lot of other hidden gems in story, like the poll features, like the question feature, like the DM feature, like the GIF, and a lot of things that you can actually use. You can be creative with when you use your story. So just go on to your story and get creative. So guys, the last but not the least of my powerful tip that I'm going to give you is have a powerful branding, or have a compelling branding. Have an attractive brand. When people talk about brand, or when we talk about brand, people think you are just talking about logo. They think you're talking about colors, and all of that. Well, this is not totally wrong, but it is not everything that branding entails. Branding is a lot more than that, So when we talk about brand, we are talking about the perception of your brand, the perception of your business. So we're talking about not just the visual aspect of your business, which is the logo and all those things, but we're talking about the non-visual ones. So the non-visual has to do with the feeling of your brand, how your brand makes us feel based on how you communicate it. So your brand is the way people perceive your business and the experience that they have with you. It is how they identify with your product and basically the essence of what you do. So the difference between a branded store and an unbranded store is that a branded store is seen as a store with a bigger goal than just taking people's money. That's the difference between the dropshipping business model and the private label kind of business. So why the dropshipping business come off as they just want to sell you something and just take your money and go? A private label business comes off as a business with a bigger goal, with a larger goal. So also we are in the social era where branding is more personal. It's becoming more intimate these days because people like to buy from people whom they feel like they have something in common with. So that's the reason why you want to be crystal clear on the people that you are serving and communicate it in your brand message. So what am I talking about? You have to make sure that you have a brand core. You have to make sure that you have a brand promise. You have to make sure that you have a brand value. You have to make sure that you have a brand vision. You see, all these things that I mentioned, they might seem like they are so difficult, but they are not so difficult if you can just do a little bit of research. And so leave a comment in the box below if anything that I've talked about so far is something that you want to learn more about. So these 7 tips that I've talked about, guys, are some of the most powerful tips that has helped me in Trump's voice tremendously in my business. And I have a strong belief that it is going to do tremendous growth to your business as well. Especially whether you are new or whether you are already established. If you are new, this will help you have a smooth flight. If you are already established, this can take your business to the next level. Guys, if there's anything that I've talked about in this video that you don't understand or that you want me to expatiate one more time, leave it in the comment below and I'll be more than happy to get back into it. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget, subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up so that I know that, yeah, you've actually gained value from this. And don't forget to hook up with me on Instagram. Here's my Instagram handle. I'm always on Instagram 24/7. If you have any question, just slide in my DM. I'll be more than happy to reply to you. So I go by the name of BJ Mighty, guys. I'll see you in the next video. And get used to my slogan. Don't forget it. Intelligence and ruggedness. Peace out, yo. Bang.